This one small thing takes 5 minutes a day, but it's the reason I'm not stuck in a life I regret. And listen, I didn't learn it in med school. I didn't pick it up from any of the productivity books or the color-coded planners that I kept buying and abandoning after, about a week. I learned it the hard way after walking away from a 20-year career and rebuilding my life from scratch. We all have those moments where you wake up and think, how did I get here? This wasn't the plan. And the truth is, most people don't even realize that they have veered off course until years have passed. But here's the good news. There's one practice, just 5 minutes a day, that can keep you aligned, intentional, and in motion toward the life that you actually want. And in this video, I am going to show you exactly what it is, how I use it, the research that explains why it works, and the mistakes that you'll want to avoid. Because time is precious, and I don't want you losing years to distraction and self-doubt and drifting when 5 minutes a day can completely change your trajectory. So let's get into it. So here it is. The practice that I'm talking about is what I call the 5-minute alignment check. And before you roll your eyes and think, oh great, another fancy name for journaling, hang on. Because it's not that. This is a short, focused check-in that you do once a day. 5 minutes, no apps, no color-coded planner, no life coach required. Just you, pausing long enough to reconnect with the bigger picture of who you're becoming. Now, if you stop watching right here, you technically know the answer, but here's the thing. Knowing what it is won't actually change your life. The real power is in how you do it, the questions you ask, and the traps that you avoid. And that's what I'm going to show you in the rest of this video. I'll break down the exact steps so that you can start today. I'll share the research behind why it works and why it matters. And I'll tell you the mistakes that people make that completely ruin it. So stick with me because this is where it gets good. I didn't figure this out in a neat, tiny way. For me, it happened after I walked away from my career as a doctor, 20 years, and I thought I was doing everything right. I had the degree, the job, the house, the whole checklist. On paper, it looked perfect, but inside, I was exhausted, burnt out. And honestly, I had this sinking feeling that I was living someone else's life. So when I finally left medicine, I had no roadmap. I was trying every system under the sun. Vision boards, productivity hacks, 3 different planners at once, which, by the way, is a terrible idea unless you enjoy writing the same to-do list over and over. And still, I kept drifting because the truth is, it wasn't about getting more organized. It was about reconnecting with who I actually wanted to become. That's where this 5-minute check-in came from. I needed something simple enough to stick, but powerful enough to stop me from slipping back into autopilot. And over time, it became the one daily anchor that kept me moving forward toward the life I was trying to build, instead of drifting right back into another decade of shoulds. Here's the thing, drifting doesn't usually happen because people are lazy. It happens because life is loud. We're constantly pulled by other people's expectations and old habits and endless notifications. The average person checks their phone 96 times a day, and we spend more than 2.5 hours daily on social media, which, if you add it up, is literally years of your life lost to scrolling. No wonder so many people wake up one day thinking, wait, this isn't where I wanted to end up. And that's the danger. Drifting feels harmless in the moment, but it's like walking 1 degree off course on a long journey. You don't notice it right away, but years later, you are miles from where you wanted to be. That's why this 5-minute alignment check is so powerful. It forces you to course correct before decades slip by. And if you're watching right now thinking, oh wow, I have really been drifting, I created something that will really help you to get back on track. It's called The Reset. It's a free 5-day challenge that gives you simple daily steps to realign your energy and focus and mindset. And you can grab it using the link below this video. For now, let's keep going because I want to show you exactly how this practice works, step by step. Okay, so let's talk about how to actually do this 5-minute practice, because the magic isn't in just sitting there staring into space. It's in following a simple framework. So here's how it works. Step 1, pause. Find 5 minutes. That's it. No phone, no distractions, just enough space to step out of the noise. Step 2, ask one guiding question, something that pulls you out of autopilot. My favorites are, who am I becoming? What matters most today? Or, this one's powerful, what choice would my future self thank me for? Step 3, write one sentence, not a full journal entry, just a single line that anchors you. For example, I'm someone who shows up with courage, or I'm someone who prioritizes health. Short, simple, clear. Step 4, choose one aligned action. This is key. What's one thing you can do today that matches that identity? Maybe it's practicing a speech instead of scrolling. Maybe it's going for a walk instead of answering one more email. That's it. Pause, question, sentence, action. 5 minutes and you're done. And here's the really interesting part. Psychologists have a theory called self-perception theory. It basically says that we learn who we are by watching what we do, not the other way around. So when you consistently take these small aligned actions, your brain starts to say, oh, I guess this is who I am now. And that's why this works. You're not just reflecting, you're reinforcing an identity every single day. And the best part? It's so simple that you actually do it. No giant life overhaul required. Now, let me tell you what happens if you don't do this, because I've skipped it. I've gone through stretches where I thought, oh, I'm fine. I don't need to check in every day. And you know what happened? I drifted. I slipped right back into busyness. Whole weeks where I was working really hard, answering emails, chasing deadlines, ticking boxes, but none of it was actually moving me toward the life I wanted. And that's the scary thing. You can be busy every single day and still be headed in the wrong direction. Here's why. Your brain loves default patterns. It wants to run the old programming, even if that programming isn't making you happy. Unless you interrupt it, you'll just keep repeating it. That 5-minute practice is the interruption. It's the thing that snaps you out of autopilot and forces you to ask, am I still on the right track? Without it, life pulls you. With it, you steer. Now here's the thing, there is no one right way to do this. The framework is simple, but the format, that's up to you. For me, it's usually writing one line in a notebook. Nothing fancy, just a quick anchor for the day. But I've had clients who hate writing, so they use a voice memo on their phone. I know someone who just scribbles a word on a sticky note and slaps it on the fridge. Another person keeps a running note in their calendar app so that they can look back and see the thread of their choices over time. The point isn't to make it beautiful or Instagram worthy. The point is consistency. 5 minutes. Anchor the identity, pick one action, done. And honestly, the best practice is the one that you will actually stick with. If you're someone who is never going to keep a journal, don't force it. Find the format that feels natural and then make it yours. All right, let's talk about the mistakes that people make with this practice. Because yes, you can mess up a 5-minute habit. Mistake number 1 is turning it into a 45-minute journaling session. I get it. Sometimes you start writing and suddenly you are 3 pages deep in your feelings. That's fine once in a while, but the beauty of this is in the brevity. 5 minutes. That's the guardrail that keeps it sustainable. Mistake number 2, turning it into a glorified to-do list. This isn't about errands. Pick up milk, answer emails, fix the printer. No, that's not alignment, that's chores. The point is to zoom out and ask, am I living as the person I want to become? Mistake number 3, skipping it because you're too busy. I get it, life feels full, but here's the truth. If you can't find 5 minutes for yourself, That's exactly why you need this practice. 5 minutes is the pause that gives you back the rest of your day. Remember, 5 minutes now saves you a decade later, so protect it. Treat it like brushing your teeth. Small, daily, non-negotiable. Trust me, future you will be very grateful. So let's wrap this up. Most people don't set out to waste decades of their life. They just drift one day at a time, distracted, busy, reacting, until suddenly the years have passed and they're nowhere near where they thought they'd be. But you don't have to live that way. The 5-minute alignment check is your daily interrupt. It's what keeps you on course. 5 minutes, one question, one sentence, one action. That's all it takes. And if you do it consistently, you will look back years from now and realize that you didn't just drift into a life by default. You built it on purpose. And if you're ready to go deeper with this, don't forget to join the Reset. As I mentioned, it's a free 5-day challenge that I created to help you realign your energy, your focus, and your mindset. The link is down below. Future you is being built right now. Don't wait for decades to pass before you realize it. And when you're done here, watch the video that I am sharing on the very next screen. It's called I Started Over at 47 and It Changed Everything. It'll give you the perfect next step. It forces you to course correct before, scratchy voice. Okay, tea time. Ooh. Oh no. Okay, hang on. Honestly, I'm actually surprised that hasn't happened before.